In Mahā-bhāgavatam, when Parikshit Maharaj and Shukadeva Goswami, they're having a wonderful time discussing glories of the Lord and His devotees. There was a point when a discussion started where Shukadeva Goswami, he started describing about how Mother Yashoda would feed her breast milk to Krishna. It's very wonderful description that comes in the Damodar pastime, where Damodar comes and then he climbs onto the lap of Mother Yashoda and he starts sucking the breast milk of Mother Yashoda. And when he is drinking the milk, Krishna is smiling. Now looking at that smile, Mother Yashoda's affection for Krishna, love for Krishna is increasing and the milk is increasing. And Krishna is drinking the increased milk coming from the breast of Mother Yashoda. And his smile is getting broader. And looking at that, Mother Yashoda's affection is increasing, the milk is increasing. And Krishna is drinking that more increased milk. And he's smiling more. And Mother Yashoda's milk is increasing. Krishna is smiling more. And on and on and on. And if the question comes, भाई कब ये सब खत्म कभी हुआ? कि ये चलता है क्या? And the acharyas say that in spiritual world the pastime is so eternal. It goes on and on and on. Mother Yashoda has unlimited capacity to serve Krishna, and Krishna has unlimited capacity to accept the service of the devotee. So all these discussions were going on, and suddenly Parikshit Maharaj has a question. क्या किए Nanda Maharaj और Yashoda Mai? क्या किए? What did they do? What did they do that they got this opportunity? Now see, if someone is asking this question, what does that mean? What did Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj do to get this position, which even Brahma, Shiva, Shri, that is Lakshmi Devi, they also didn't get? When this question is asked, so what is the implication? What is Parikshit Maharaj's mood while asking this question? Any idea? If I get to know, I'll also do that. I'll also do. That's such a glorious position of Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj. If I get to know, then I'll also try to do that. To become Mother Yashoda? To become Nanda Maharaj? No. We want to become their servants. We want to serve Krishna as servants of these great personalities. Therefore, when you understand about these great personalities, one thing we will see is how they attained perfection. And when we hear about how these great personalities in Bhagavatam attain perfection, we get the greed, even I should do this. And that's the impetus for a sadhaka, to be enthusiastic while doing sadhana bhakti. A great personality in Srimad Bhagavatam, who comes multiple times in multiple chapters, multiple cantos, is Srila Narada Muni. Narada Muni was not Narada Muni. But if you get to know how Narada Muni became Narada Muni, oh, that's very fantastic. Because we can also think of doing that, what he did. Narada Muni, 2 lives before, he was a Gandharva in the celestial planets. See, only on this planet there is gross sensual pleasure. There is no gross sex or something like that in the higher planets. You know how Gandharvas, they enjoy sensual pleasure or have sex? The mode of doing or having sexual intercourse for them is singing. So the male sings and the female also sings. Look at the level. It goes subtle and subtle and subtle like that. Therefore, when the higher planetary system, when they look at people on the earth planet, so much mad behind sex, I think, oh, what are these hogs doing? What are these monkeys doing here? That is their mood. So he was a Gandharva, and his name was Upabarhana. And Upabarhana, he was very handsome. Now we cannot describe how beautiful the ladies are and how handsome the men are there in those planets, because we don't have examples here to give. Compare भी नहीं कर सकते किसी के साथ. Max, we can say that their face was like moon and their eyes were like lotus petals and this and that, but we cannot describe. Actually, we cannot describe. Yes. If some newcomer, he comes and then he puts some moon and then put lotus petals to that, just imagine how the picture will be. It's very difficult to describe. He was very handsome. And handsome men who are dressed very nicely, it means naturally there'll be females around, who will come, get attracted. So he'd always be surrounded by lusty women. So lusty men, lusty man, lusty woman around. And it is described that very wonderfully. One day, an invitation was given to this Gandharva, Upabarhana. All the devatas had called, Prajapatis had called, that we are doing a yajna, you please come and glorify the Supreme Lord. Upabarhana came there, and when he came, the ladies were around. He was having lusty desires. And at that time, he forgot that he's supposed to glorify the Supreme Lord, Lord Sri Krishna. And he started glorifying devatas who were there around. And devatas got really angry. And they cursed him. See, one point that we need to note is sometimes people think that now if I exclusively worship Krishna, all devatas will curse me. All devatas, will trouble me, give me suffering. No, it's not the case. They're very happy when someone takes to exclusive devotional service to Krishna. And see here, Upabarhana, he glorified devatas and devatas were upset to such an extent that they cursed him. If always remember, if some devotee is worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, is very dear to all the devatas also. Therefore, without any hesitation, one should worship Krishna with one pointed focus, without thinking what will happen, what this devata will do, what that devata will do, and so on and so forth. And they cursed. And the curse was, you become a Shudra, you're behaving like a Shudra, you become a Shudra. Go to the earthly planet. And there, you'll have a Shudra body. So there was one lady who was working in a school, in a Gurukul or something like that. And she begot a son. And that son was none other than Upabarhana coming down and taking a body of a Shudra. Now see, it's a very nice thing that in the past, Shudras were also very nice. Not like present. I'll not describe more. Early in the morning, it's not good to describe. So he was son of maid servant, and it was such a great opportunity. Somehow, maybe mercy of all the devatas, he had some qualifications. He was self-controlled. This boy, small boy, 5-year-old boy, self-controlled. He had no attachment for play, sports. He was not naughty, and he would not speak more than required. See, this is one of the very important quality for a sadhaka. How a sadhaka becomes a siddha, we can learn from Narada Muni's life. He was not wasting time, even a moment of time. He was not seeing shorts on YouTube or Insta. He was not going out to play, with his friends. He was not watching movies or something like that. He was very grave. He would not waste a single moment. And this quality, specifically in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, is called as Avyartha Kalatvam. Avyartha Kalatvam means not wasting a single moment. Every moment in service of the Lord. And a great fortune arrived in the life of Narada Muni when some great personalities came to that particular place where he and his mother were there. And these great personalities were called as Bhakti Vedantas. So Bhakti Vedantas came there, and it was the 4 months of Chaturmas, rainy season. So they all stayed in that place. Now this maid servant, she was serving all the Bhakti Vedantas who came with a lot of respect, with a lot of affection. She was serving all of them. And small boy Narada, or Upabarhana becoming a small boy. So this boy, along with mother, he also started serving the Bhakti Vedantas. And Narada Muni is describing all this himself by his own self. To whom? Vyasadeva. And Narada Muni is telling, you know what, Vyasa? You know what? These Bhakti Vedantas came. And there, I got an opportunity to serve all of them. And one day when they were having prasad, at that time, I requested them, thoda mujhe bhi dijiye. And they, from their own plate, gave it to me. They gave me remnants from their plate. And Narada Muni says, just by having the remnants of food from their plate, my taste for bhakti started increasing. That's the glory, and that's what is given in Chaitanya Charitamrita also. Bhakta pada dhuliyara, bhakta pada jal, bhakta bhukta avashesha tini mahabal. These three are the great strength or the great impetus or catalyst to intensify our devotional service. Bhakta pada dhuli, the dust of the lotus feet of devotee. Second, bhakta pada jal, the water that has washed the lotus feet of a devotee. Bhakta bhukta avashesha, that is the food left by the devotee in his plate, remnants. Sometimes in the association of devotees, devotees have fun time. They'll go and try to touch the feet of the devotee. Prabhu, I want your dhuli, your pure devotee. Yes. Chappal mein hai, chappal se le lo. Prabhu, I want bhakta pada jal, the water that has washed your feet. It is there in the bathroom. Just now I came from the bathroom. If you're so eager, go. Yes. Prabhu, I want your remnant, especially the gulab jamun that is there in your plate. Bhakta bhukta avashesha. Arey kachre ke dibbe mein there's so much. There's so much. But apna thoda alag natak hota hai dikhane ke liye ki, we know all the three and then we want it from you, etc., etc. But sincere souls, they are ready to take it from anywhere. And we see, and without telling. And here, Narada Muni is saying that just by accepting remnants from them, two things. My heart became purified, first thing. Second, and these transcendentalists, these devotees become very, very attractive to me. Two things happened with Narada Muni just by accepting remnants. Once I had given a class in one place about Mahaprasad. Then I went and then I was having prasad and some devotee came. Proji, Maha dijiye. मैं बोला अभी तक चालू नहीं किया मैंने. Maha dijiye. So wonderful, huh? Narada Muni's case. Just by having remnants of these great, now you can imagine the power of those great devotees. We always glorify Narada, no doubt. But now you can imagine the power of those Bhaktivedantas, how much love they might have had for Krishna. That just by accepting the remnants, this boy who was just Shudra. Shudra means there is no samskar that is done. There is no training that is given. That's called Shudra. This person, his heart got purified and he got attracted to the devotees. Transcendentalist. And Narada Muni is telling Vyasadeva another very important thing. He said that see, all of them, they were discussing Krishna Katha. And when they were discussing Krishna Katha, somehow since I was a small boy, I was allowed to sit there. I was allowed to sit there and hear. And Vyasa, you know what? At that time, very sincerely I was hearing. Tatranvahan Krishna Katha Pragayatam Anugrahena Shrinavam Manohara Ta Shraddhaya Me Nupadam Vishnvatah Priyashravasyangamama Bhavadruchihi. Narada Muni is saying. Very beautiful. He says that there I was sitting and I was hearing them. And Vyasa, how I was hearing? I was hearing attentively. I was hearing attentively when all these Bhakti Vedantas were discussing Krishna Katha. And when I was hearing them attentively, so hearing attentively is his qualification. Krishna Katha discussion is the qualification of the Bhakti Vedantas. And look at what happened. Narada Muni is saying at every step when I was hearing, my taste for Krishna Katha went on increasing. So one qualification which we have to acquire in our life is attentively hearing Krishna Katha. When we're sitting in any class, Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, whatever it is, attentively hearing. I don't know how many times I repeat this in my classes. Actually, I repeat it for myself and I remind myself that I should hear attentively. You have to hear attentively. Sometimes we might understand or we might not understand. Once Srila Prabhupada was giving class in Bengali. And his assistant was sitting there. If I'm not wrong, it was Harishauri Prabhu. Yeah, Harishauri Prabhu. Or Shrutakirti Prabhu, one of them, his secretaries. And since they were not knowing Hindi only, forget about Bengali. Yes. So when you don't understand something in the class, what will happen? Huh? Yes, all experienced people are saying sleep. Now, so naturally the person will doze off. So he was dozing off. And after the class, Prabhupada called and asked, "Why were you sleeping in the class?" I said, "Prabhupada, I was not understanding what you're saying. I was not understanding the language." Prabhupada, "So what? So what? It's transcendental sound vibration. Just sit and attentively hear. That will transform the heart." Prabhupada was very clear. Therefore, we understand, we don't understand. Sometimes there's a big bouncer in some classes. But whatever it is, since it is spoken from Shastra, it has to be heard attentively. And look at Narada Muni. Tell me, this 5-year-old boy, how much he might have understood Krishna Katha there. All great personalities are discussing at their level. And this small 5-year-old boy sitting, I don't know if he was knowing ABCD also. Sorry, Sanskrit. I don't think so. He might be knowing that also. But then he was hearing attentively. And just by hearing the transcendental sound vibrations attentively, this person, he is saying that at every step, my taste for hearing started increasing. My attention to hear of the Lord was unflinching. It became unflinching more, and he got more taste in hearing Krishna Katha. And wonderful things, he's mentioning. He's saying that, "Hey, Vyasa, I realized." You know what I realized? I realized that I am not this body. And myself and the Lord were eternal. By the way, this is a very big realization. We ISKCON devotees might take it for granted because Prabhupada keeps telling us again and again, we are not the body, we are spirit, soul. And we're fully sure about it that we are this body only. Yes, many of the times in situations we see, no? But then here, he's saying, I realized that I am not this body, and myself and the Lord were eternal. Another thing that he says is, for 4 months I got to hear Vyasa, for 4 months I got to hear. Every day from these personalities, I heard it attentively. And he is mentioning, as the flow of my devotional service began, the covering of passion and ignorance, all that was removed completely. See, all of us, devotees who come for hearing Krishna Katha from Mahā-bhāgavatam, Bhagavad Gita, it's but obvious they're sincere. There's no doubt about it. But why is it that even sincere devotees in the classes, where intense topic is discussed, why is it that the eyelids becomes heavy? Yes. Why it goes down? Why? Because of the covering of passion and ignorance that is there. Sharira avidyajal. Yes, yesterday we were discussing this. Sharira avidyajal. Entire body is network of ignorance, avidya. So naturally, even in the most intense topic that is getting discussed, there, the eyelids are going down. Say today we have a class in the afternoon or something like that, and all devotees are doing nirjal, fasting. Yes. Will we be attentive at that time? Just think about it. But look at Parikshit Maharaj, no food, no water, and he is sitting and he is hearing Shukdev Goswami. And there is only, if I'm not wrong, when 10th canto started, Srimad Bhagavatam, only 3 days were remaining for Parikshit Maharaj, 3 or 3.5 days out of 7 days. So at that time, Parikshit Maharaj, because Shukdev Goswami, he was in anxiety. He summarized the entire Krishna Katha in 3-4 verses at the end of 9th canto. And Parikshit Maharaj said, "Arey, iske liye to ruka tha main. I was waiting for Krishna Leela to start and you finished." And at that point, one word that catches my attention in 10th canto, the initial chapters, is Parikshit Maharaj is requesting, "Gurudev, please describe to me Krishna Leela Vistarat, elaborately." Now you can imagine the person who has not eaten, who has not drunk water, who has not slept. He's saying this. Should we try this? No sleep? Sorry, I'll not take the risk of doing it myself or my students as well. Very difficult, isn't it? Thinking only is very difficult. 1 hour less we sleep at night, and morning we see the effect of it in chanting. Very difficult, very difficult. But what's the difference between us and Parikshit Maharaj? This is the difference. What Narada Muni is saying that ignorance and passion was away from my existence. When ignorance goes away, why will the person not doze off in Krishna Katha, which is the life and soul of devotees? Why? Why will he doze off? And then Narada Muni is saying that, hey Vyasa, I became very attached to them. It's a natural thing. As devotees, we get attached to devotees, especially these great devotees. I got attached to them. I developed strong faith in them. And I strictly started following their instructions. 3 things he started doing. He was very attached, and then he had strong faith, and third thing is he started following instructions given by them. And he said that when these Bhaktivedantas were leaving, I was not feeling good. You become attached to someone, and that someone is leaving. He's saying, I was not feeling good. I was feeling very painful. But one thing they instructed me was the confidential subject matter about Krishna. And Narada Muni is saying, I could understand clearly the influence of energy of Lord Krishna as creator, maintainer, annihilator of everything. By knowing that one can return to him and personally meet him. This understanding he got, that just by worshipping the Lord, doing sadhana bhakti, one can go back to Krishna. See, Narada is an amazing example for sadhana siddhi. That how by doing sadhana, a person can become a siddha, a perfect soul, and attain the ultimate destination. Amazing example. Bhaktivedantas left, and there was a great tragedy in the life of Narada Muni. He had only his mother. He was not knowing who father is also. And one day his mother died because a snake bit her when she went out in the dark to milk the cows early in the morning. Now Narada was alone. And Narada was not, and Narada, at that time, Vyasadeva, he's telling to Vyasadeva at that time, I took this as an opportunity to just render devotional service. I don't know how many people will take this as an opportunity. Someone dies in your house and they're like, Chalo acha hua. Now I can do just devotional service. Narada Muni, and see, all this is done. All this is the thought process of whom? A 5-year-old boy. I always say this. Purposely, I think Shukadeva Goswami is describing 5-year-old boys in Srimad Bhagavatam. We'll come to another 5-year-old boy in some time. Just to make us realize, you useless donkeys. 5 into how many times is your age? And what is your bhakti? Look at these 5-year-old boys, how wonderful bhakti they're doing. So this boy, Narada, he started going around to different places now. And his entire thing was searching for the Lord. He was remembering the instructions of Bhaktivedantas. Look at the powerful seed of bhakti that was sown by Bhaktivedantas in the heart of Narada Muni. That now he was alone and still he was able to intensely practice devotional service. This is the quality of intense devotees. Just by coming in touch with them, our intensity of bhakti increases. Therefore, I always keep telling devotees that it's not just becoming intense in bhakti for ourselves. When we become intense in bhakti, naturally, whomever we come in touch with, that person will also become intense in bhakti. It's a service. To become intense in bhakti is not selfishness, but it's a selfless service. Because the society will get benefited by that, by the presence of such a devotee in the society. And here, look at Narada Muni, he went around alone. He was not fearful. He was going in the forest. He was going around in the mountains, in the valleys, without fear. Even in the dark, he would roam around. And finally, he started doing that sadhana which was taught by the Bhaktivedantas, to him. He sat and he started meditating on the Lord. And one thing that took place was, when he closed his eyes and then he was meditating, he was praying to the Lord intensely and for a good amount of time. The beautiful form of the Lord manifested in Narada Muni's meditation. He was not imagining. It manifested. Lord revealed himself. And when that beautiful form was revealed to Narada Muni went mad. He was ecstatic. See, we cannot understand what it means, to be frank. What it means to have darshan of the Lord and all that. It's very difficult. Hum to holy name sun nahi paate. That's our problem. If you just hear the holy name attentively, that's called as darshan of Shabda Brahma. You're actually getting darshan of the Lord in the form of sound. And with time, the form is revealed. And here for Narada Muni, it was revealed. And when the form was revealed, it is described that he became very ecstatic. Every limb of his body became enlivened, completely enlivened. And he became completely satisfied. Here is the key for satisfaction. When someone advances in bhakti and comes to this platform, where he is getting personal audience of the Lord in the form of the holy name, in the form of the form, the person becomes completely satisfied. But one thing that happened was, just imagine, someone, your favorite sweet is, today is fasting, but still, I'm sorry. Your favorite sweet is, say, rasgulla. And then someone puts in your mouth. Yes. And then the person removes it. How will you feel? You'll feel nice? Yes. This is what happened with Narada. He got that beautiful darshan of the Lord and Lord disappeared. And Narada again, he said, no, again. He started forcefully meditating and trying to capture the form of the Lord. But unfortunately, one thing we should note, our Lord is a transcendental autocrat. He will decide when he wants to give darshan. He will decide when he does not want to give darshan. And disappeared, and Narada Muni, same technique he is using, but it's not working. Have you noticed this in your chanting also at times? Sometimes, someday, the chanting is very nice. At least ek din to hua rahega na? Huh? Yes. We're sitting and we are chanting. Our chanting is very nice, and then next day we decide. We think, kal kya kiya tha? This. Okay. I'll do the same thing today also. And you're sitting and trying to do the same thing, and nothing is working. Nothing is working. And you're dozing off at times. And we think, why is it not working? Yesterday this technique worked, today it's not working. Because techniques cannot capture Krishna. Techniques cannot capture Krishna. Krishna has to reveal himself to us. Therefore, in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, Rupa Goswami is saying, Atha Shri Krishna Namadi Na Bhaved Grayam Indriye Sevon Mukhe Hi Jivhado Swayam Eva Spuratyada. So Rupa Goswami is telling all of us, he's quoting this and he's telling you cannot capture Krishna with your senses. But when Krishna reveals to you, then it's possible for you to understand the Lord, to perceive the Lord, or else not possible. And at that time, when Narada Muni was trying hard, and he was going mad. Again, I'm telling you, we cannot understand Narada Muni's situation, what it means. Getting darshan of the Lord and darshan is gone. We cannot understand what it means. But Narada Muni knows what it means, and he's describing it to Vyasadeva. And he's telling, oh Vyasadeva, at that time, suddenly there was a thundering sound that came. And there the Lord spoke. And you know what was the speech of the Lord? Another very, very painful thing. And the Lord said that in this lifetime, you will not get my darshan again. सोचिए अगर ऐसे आकाशवाणी यहाँ हो जाए, in this lifetime you'll not be able to chant attentively. अरे यार छोड़ो, हो गया आकाशवाणी हो गया, छोड़ दो. Anyways, I cannot do. What's the point? You cannot take my darshan again. My God. And another statement that is made, again very painful. It is said, ones who are not completely free from material contamination, they can hardly see me. We know that we are fallen. We know that we are contaminated. When this is exclusively spoken, that you are fallen, you are contaminated, I don't know how we will take it. And at that time, Lord also said something very wonderful. You all can repeat. Sakradyad darshitam rupam etat kamayate nagha mat kamaha shanakai sadhu sarvan munchati rakchaya. So here, Lord is telling Narada Muni that you have seen me once. And now, just to increase your desire for me, so that you can hanker for me more. Now, Narada Muni might say, why should I hanker? What will happen? What will happen if I hanker for you more? You will be freed from all material desires. Therefore, I'll not give darshan again. So if I don't give darshan, you'll hanker for me more. And when you hanker for me more, then all your material desires will go away. So here is the key for sadhakas. If he intensely desire to attain Krishna, if he intensely desire to attain the higher states of devotional service, then what will happen? All the material contamination from the heart will be removed. And this is the point that was made here. Such a wonderful point. अगर हम लोग होते नारद मुनि की जगह पे तो क्या करते हैं हम लोग? What would I have told? जा, नहीं चाहिए दर्शन. I am not contaminated. You know what Narada Muni did? Narada Muni, he offered obeisances. Wherever he was, he offered his namaskar, his pranam, dandavat to that unseen sound. He offered obeisances and then he started practicing bhakti more intensely. उनको पता है अभी दर्शन नहीं होने वाला इस लाइफ में. But still he started practicing bhakti intensely. So say if there is an Akashvani today, on the auspicious day of Narasimha Chaturdashi, that all of you sitting here, you will not attain Krishna Prem this life. Say this Akashvani happens. You will not be able to attain the ultimate destination this life. So we should remember what Narada Muni did. No problem. I am servant of the Lord and my job is to serve. I'll continue rendering devotional service. Sochiye, if someone does bhakti like this, don't you think Lord will also cry? You're doing bhakti so selflessly, even when you're not getting anything. Chalo, no problem. Take Krishna Prem now itself. On Narasimha Chaturdashi. This is what happened, no? In a very beautiful pastime in Gaur Leela. When Lord Chaitanya was displaying his wonderful form to various personalities. At that time, devotees asked, oh Lord, you're not calling Mukunda? You're not calling Mukunda to give your darshan? And Lord said that he will not get my darshan. He's an offender. And Mukunda was there behind a pillar. You can always, whenever these pastimes are there, you can always put yourself in that personality and try to think what that personality might be going through. He was behind the pillar and then he heard this. Lord is saying that he'll not get my darshan. And then devotees came to Mukunda and Mukunda was crying and Mukunda asked the devotees, go and please ask the Lord that when will I get darshan then? And the devotees went, oh Lord, Mukunda is asking, he's behind the pillar. He's asking that when will he get your darshan? And Lord said, after 10 million lives, he'll get my darshan. And Mukunda heard that. And Mukunda started jumping in ecstasy. After 10 million lifetimes, I'll see. And devotees went there. Lord heard this. He's so ecstatic. And Lord said, now I'll give him darshan. Get him here. And devotees went to get him. Mukunda, Lord is calling. Mukunda, Lord is calling. And he's crying out, I will see. And it's described very beautifully that devotees lifted Mukunda, got him and kept him in front of the Lord. Yes. And Lord gave him darshan. Therefore, one thing, it's obviously good to have spiritual desires, and all of us can have. But even if our spiritual desires are not fulfilled according to our expectation, it shouldn't matter. Because what matters is we are servants and we're supposed to continue our service. Continue our chanting of Hare Krishna, reading Shastra, and doing various missionary activities. This is what we are supposed to do. And you know what? This small boy, 5-year-old boy, he started doing this intensely. And finally, that final moment came. And you know what was the final moment? What's the final moment in our life? Death. That same thing happened in Narada's life also. And this final moment, death, Narada was not crying. He was not feeling pain. It is described that Narada was walking, his body fell. And Narada continued walking. What does that mean? He was liberated. He was liberated. And here very nicely, Narada himself is describing, absorbed in thinking of Krishna and no attachments, being completely freed from all material taints, I met with death. Liberated. Now this personality, so first life was Upabarana, second life was the Shudra boy, and now third life, he got a very transcendental form. The same personality whom all of us know, his name is Srila Narada Dev. He goes around as a transcendental preacher to different planets to deliver everyone. And always, he'll have his veena and he'll always sing the glories of the Lord. Narada Muni bhajaye veena radhika ramana name. Always chanting the holy names of Radha and Krishna. Always chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Yes, that's the glory of Narada Muni. We'll come back to Narada Muni again. We'll discuss about it. In Satyuga, when Hiranyakashipu went to do tapasya, so at that time, Hiranyakashipu's wife, you know what is the name of Hiranyakashipu's wife? Kayadu. So Kayadu was pregnant. And you all know who was there in the womb of Kayadu? Don't tell anyone. Let's keep it secret for some time. So when these devatas, they saw, because Hiranyakashipu had really created a great terror in the hearts of all the devatas. You can imagine Hiranyakashipu's power. He had a remote of the AC. I know what was the remote? His eyebrows. He lifts his eyebrow and the sun will set the temperature the way Hiranyakashipu wants. He'll raise his eyebrow and Indradev will shower some drizzle so that he becomes shant and everything is nice. Vayudev will get nice fragrant breeze. That was the situation. And as soon as all these devatas, they saw that Hiranyakashipu is doing tapasya and his entire body is eaten up by those insects, they understood, Hare ye to gaya. He's died. He is no more. So taking the advantage of the situation, all the devatas, they attacked. They attacked the palace of Hiranyakashipu, a kingdom of Hiranyakashipu. They started killing demons, and some demons, when they were killed, all the other demons, they fled away from that place. And Mahā-bhāgavatam describes, they left their wife, kids, everything, and they ran away from that place. The demons, after all. They ran away. And then Indra and his team, they entered the palace of Hiranyakashipu. And they started looting the place. I don't know how devatas loot the place, but then it is described. Yes, and they started destroying the entire thing. And they found a lady who was pregnant. And she was none other than the wife of Hiranyakashipu, Kayadu. She was found. And Indra saw. And Indra said, my God, little Hiranyakashipu is there in the womb. One we are not able to tolerate, one more is coming. And immediately what Indra did is, he captured Kayadu and started dragging her to another place. His entire plan was that he will wait for the child to take birth and then kill the child. See, this is what is the Devata mentality. Asur mentality is what? Same thing happened with Kamsa also. Yes. When Devaki, when she got married, and when there was Akashvani saying, you fool, Kams, 8th son of your sister is going to kill you. Immediately he went to kill whom? Devaki. That is Asur. But look at Devata. He is thinking that why to kill her? And how can I kill a baby in the womb? Let the baby take birth, after that I'll kill. And look at the Asuras now, in the age of Kali. In the name of controlling the population, or in the name of sense gratification or whatever, so many abortions are taking place. Look at this. Such a horrible thing. Abortion is nothing but murder. And Shastras say, anyone who does that, he has to face the repercussion of murdering a human being. And he has to suffer in the hell for that. A very, very horrifying thing. And Devatas know all this. They never do or never get into a realm of sinful activity. So that was his plan. So he was dragging. And there comes the transcendental preacher, the spaceman who goes around the entire space with his veena. Narada Muni bhajaye veena radhika ramana name. He came there. Narada Muni knows at which point where to go. I don't know how he goes. How he knows? At the right time, he'll go to that place. And he came at the right time. And this transcendental personality, he stopped Indra. And he told Indra, what are you doing? You're dragging someone else's wife like this? This is not proper. This is not proper. At that time, Indra, he started saying, you don't know. This seed of demon in her womb. So when the demon takes birth, I'll kill the demon. And at that time, Narada Muni said, no. You're doing a big mistake. You're doing a big mistake. And he said this. Please repeat. I am What is it? Okay. I am Nishkil Bishai Sakshan Mahā-bhāgavato Mahān Tvaya na prapsyate samstham Anantano charo bali. He is saying, Nishkil Bishai, the person who is there in the womb, he is faultless, he is sinless. Mahā-bhāgavata, he is a great devotee. And he also says a very nice thing, that he is a very, very powerful servant, Mahan. He's a powerful servant of Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then he says that you should take care that you don't do a Vaishnava aparadh by killing a Vaishnava. Now when Indra was hearing all this, what do you think was Indra's reaction for this? Indra didn't ask, what is the proof? Show me the sonography report. Show me that tilak is there on the forehead of this baby. Nothing. A great soul spoke, and here Indra, who is a devata, he accepted. That's the quality of a devata. They have natural faith in the words of Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. They don't doubt Shastra. They don't doubt the words of Guru and Sadhu. And he accepted. Not just accepted. He did pradakshina. He did parikrama of whom? Kayadu. Remembering the lotus feet of the baby who is there in the womb, the devotee who is there in the womb. And Indra left. Now imagine the situation. Kayadu with the baby in the womb, and here we have Narada, a brahmachari. Yes. And now this lady is requesting, please give me shelter. I don't want to deliver this baby before my husband comes back. Only after he comes back, I'll deliver this baby. Till then, please give me shelter. And Narada Muni took the Mataji to a place. Actually, Narada Muni does not have his ashram. Our acharyas say maybe he took to the ashram of his friend Parvata Muni. Another place it is said he just took to some other ashram. So anyways, he took Kayadu to some ashram. And here, in this ashram, Kayadu, very faithfully, she was serving Narada Muni, a Mahā-bhāgavat. Same thing, no? History is repeating. Narada Muni's mother, in the previous life, she was serving the Bhakti Vedantas. And Narada Muni was naturally involved in the services because he was a small boy. And here Kayadu is serving Narada Muni, who is a great Mahā-bhāgavat now. And Prahlāda is there in the womb. And he is getting the mercy of serving a great Mahā-bhāgavat. Isn't that wonderful? It's a great science. It's a great science that how to cultivate Krishna consciousness in the womb itself. It's a great science. Now Krishna Katha started. Narada Muni would speak and Kayadu would hear. What is the shelter of a great sadhu? Whenever we say that, please give me shelter, please give me shelter. What does that mean? Is he going to take his dhoti and put across like this and you go under the dhoti? Is that shelter? Shelter of a sadhu means hearing his transcendental instructions, his words. And it is described, Narada Muni started speaking Krishna Katha. And there were two people hearing, Kayadu and the baby in the womb. But Kayadu, she was always tensed. She was always tensed. पता नहीं मेरे पतिदेव क्या कर रहे हैं अभी जिंदा है कि क्या हो गया उनके साथ when will he come back and what will happen to this baby will Indra come again will the devatas come again what will happen so when there is anxiety you cannot focus on Krishna Katha And when you cannot focus on Krishna Katha, naturally what happens? Naturally? Yes. Correct. Correct. Yes, the person dozes off. And here, Narada Muni, looks like Narada Muni is closing his eyes and is meditating on various aspects of the Lord and is speaking. And Kayadu, she was hearing. And when she was hearing, so she was saying, And Narada Muni was hearing that and he was continuing the Krishna Katha. And now what happened is, Kayadu, she went off to sleep. But still Narada Muni continued to speak. Because still he was hearing the sound. And now the sound was coming not from the mouth of Kayadu, but from the womb of Kayadu. And who is speaking all this, This is spoken by Prahlāda to all his schoolmates. There, Narada Muni spoke to Vyasadeva, saying, when I was a small boy, there was Krishna Katha going on. I sat there and I was hearing attentively. And here, Prahlāda is telling all his classmates that Narada was speaking Krishna Katha. My mother was hearing, and I was also hearing. And Narada Muni tells something there. Since it's a long time, and my mother is not very intelligent, she forgot all the instruction. But he tells a very wonderful point. He says to all his friends, I was able to remember because I received the mercy of my Guru Maharaj, my spiritual master, Narada Muni. And I was reading the shloka. Yesterday I was just contemplating on this. That blessings are so important in our life. So very important. See, one form of blessing is instruction itself. So when we ask some senior devotee that please bless me. So if you're not expecting an instruction from other side, then it means you're not expecting a right blessing. It means you just want the physical activity of he keeping the hand on your head. The actual blessing is Krishna Katha. So this blessing he got. Our boy, Prahlāda, he got this blessing. He got Krishna Katha as the first blessing. The second blessing was Narada Muni. He might have prayed. He might have prayed for Prahlāda, who has not yet taken birth from the womb of Kayadu. He might have prayed. And by the mercy of Narada Muni, Prahlāda didn't forget the transcendental subject matter which Narada Muni had spoken when he was in the womb. And Prahlāda was in the womb. So blessings are noted for two things. One is the Krishna Katha itself is blessing. And second is to remember and execute the instructions, you need blessings. And these two things are very, very important in our life, especially for a sadhaka like ourselves. Because when we have these two bona fide instructions and the blessings to execute those instructions, we will see we'll be able to advance in bhakti. And Prahlāda was very fortunate to receive this. Very fortunate to receive this. And obviously Prahlāda takes birth from the womb of Kayadu because Hiranyakashipu came back. Prahlāda, he started growing. He became a 5-year-old boy. And Hiranyakashipu said, now is the right time to get admission in a school. And it's very nice. Hiranyakashipu's school walked towards him. That is, the two teachers, Shanda and Amarka, they came to Hiranyakashipu. And Hiranyakashipu said, take care of him. Teach him nicely. And they took him. And it's described, Prahlāda would repeat all the instructions very nicely. And whenever Prahlāda would hear the word teacher, he would always remember only one personality, and his name was Narada Muni. Looks like there was a vacation and he came back. Prahlāda came back. And Hiranyakashipu, he was very happy looking at Prahlāda. And Hiranyakashipu asked him a very important question. He took Prahlāda on his lap and he asked a question. Hiranyakashipu is saying, Papracha katayam vatsa manyate sadhu yad bhavan. Hey vatsa, oh my dear bacha, my dear baby, my dear boy, tell me, manyate sadhu yad bhavan? According to you, what's the best thing? And at that time, there begins the Krishna Katha, which Prahlāda had heard from his teacher, not by Shanda and Avarka, but from Narada Muni. At that time, he gave a very wonderful instruction to his father. And there he says, Tatsadu manye suravarya dehina sada samudvigna dhyama sadgriha hitvatma patam grihamanda kupam vanam gato yadharimashrayeta. He's saying, oh my dear Asura Varya, the greatest demon, Asura, according to me, Tat Sadhu Manya, according to me, the best thing is that people like you who are stuck in material life should give up that and go to forest, Vana. And specifically, he was talking about what his spiritual master had told him. Yes, the spiritual master Narada Muni looks like he had told him about a Vana called Vrindavana. And he is saying, you should go to Vrindavan. And what should we do in Vrindavan? Dharimashrayeta. Take the shelter of Hari. Do his bhajan. Hiranyakashipu started laughing. Hiranyakashipu started laughing. He said, what? Looks like ISKCON devotees came. And they've given him a session on Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, he's speaking all this. Looking at Chanda and Amarka, he said, take care. These people, they come in disguise. Take care. And Chanda and Amarka, they were very astonished. Because see, 5-year-old boy cannot speak all this. And Chanda and Amarka, they were thinking, humne to kabhi sikhaya nahi. We never thought all this. Where did he learn all these things from? And they're talking to each other. एक बार गुरुकुल जाएंगे तो इसकी खबर लेंगे. Where did he learn all these things from? And he was taken to Gurukul. And very mildly they asked, where did you learn all these things from? Tell us. We'll not do anything. And Prahlāda was not telling anything. And literally Prahlāda, throughout the discussion, either with Chanda and Amarka or with Hiranyakashipu, never he uttered the name Nārada. Never. He was asked this question, where did you learn all these things from? And Prahlada Maharaj started speaking philosophy. At one point, Prahlada Maharaj, he told them a very, very important thing which he had received from Narada Muni's mercy. And you know what was that? He said, Yata brahmayati ayo brahman swayam akarsha sannidho tatha me vidhyate chetas chakraparner yadrichaya. He said, you're asking me where did I get it from? I don't know where did I get it from. Actually. Like the iron filings that are attracted to magnet, I'm naturally getting attracted to Chakrapani, the one who holds chakra. He was naturally attracted to Krishna like the iron filings get attracted to magnet. And this attraction is not something that we can develop. It is gifted. Similar attraction Narada Muni also got, if you remember. Yes. Narada Muni didn't develop it. It was gifted. The Bhakti Vedantas gifted it to Narada Muni, and Narada Muni gifted it to Prahlāda. And we can see here, Prahlāda Maharaj is saying that I'm naturally getting attracted to Krishna. Now see, one thing that all of us have to notice, Prahlāda Maharaj didn't undergo some course. Yes, Discover Yourself, Gita course. Yes. He didn't undergo, some other sessions. He was taught how to chant on beads, etc., etc. Nothing. Where did he learn all these things from? He learned all these things right in the womb. That seed of bhakti which was sown by Bhakti Vedantas in the heart of Narada Muni, that plant had grown and that was bearing fruits. And from that fruit, one seed was sown by Narada Muni in the heart of Prahlada Maharaj. And look at the power of that seed of pure devotional service. That here Prahlada Maharaj is saying, I'm naturally attracted to Krishna. Pata nahi kaise ho raha hai mere saath? I don't know. Now these teachers, they thought, small boy, it's okay, let's teach him more of demonic principles. And they started teaching him various different subject matters. They started teaching and Prahlāda was repeating. Again, the second vacation came. And the second vacation, Hiranyakashipu saw his child and he was so happy. See, anyone who looks at a pure devotee, naturally will become happy. Naturally. So he saw Prahlāda, and there were two things. One is, Prahlāda is a pure devotee, and most important thing, Prahlāda was the son of Hiranyakashipu. So he took Prahlāda, and he started crying tears. He did Abhishek of Prahlāda with his tears. And it's so nice and so wonderful that Prahlāda, he would respect his father, he was doing his duty. But whenever there was a choice that he had to make between his father and Krishna, eternal father, he would always choose eternal father. He would not choose his mortal father. So now there was a question that was asked again. And this time the question was very specific. Because previously he said, whatever best you feel, you let me know. And then Prahlada Maharaj said, according to me, the best is you get out of the house and go to Vrindavan and do Hare Krishna Kirtan. This time there was a specific question. Oh, you all can repeat the shloka. Prahlāda nuchayatam tata. Okay, I'll repeat again. Prahlāda nuch. Okay. That's correct. Prahlāda nuchayatam tata. Swadhitam kinchiduttamam. Kale naita vatayushman. Yad ashikshad guror bhava. Specific question. Uttamam, the best thing that you have learned from whom? Guruho. So whatever best thing you have learned from your guru, please tell me that. Specific question this time. And as soon as Prahlāda heard the word guru, he remembered Narada Muni. And see, Narada Muni had spoken pure devotional subject matter to Prahlāda, and Prahlāda remembers that. Prahlāda could have spoken anything from pure devotional subject matter. But Prahlāda highlighted the most important thing in sadhana bhakti, and he said, please repeat, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnoho, Smaranam Pada Sevanam, Archanam Mandanam Dasyam, Sakhyam Atmani Vedanam, Iti Pumsarpita Vishnu, Bhaktische Navalakshana, Kriyeta Bhagavatyadha, Tanmanyeditam Uttamam. Looks like in the school Prahlāda was taught answer in full sentence. What is the best thing that you have learned? And Prahlada Maharaj says, Shravanam, Kirtanam, etc. is the best thing that I have learned. This is the Uttama thing that I have learned. See, Prahlada could have spoken anything, but Prahlada is highlighting something for all of us as sadhakas. He is saying, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu till Atma Nivedanam. These 9 limbs of bhakti, they are the topmost thing. Therefore, if the question is asked to all of us as devotees, that what is your job description? Say someone asks you like that, what is your JD? Job description. Then we should tell this. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnoho Smaranam Pada Sevanam Archanam Mandanam Dasyam Sakhyam Atma Nivedanam is my JD. Job description. If you cannot remember the shloka, no problem. Just say, hearing and chanting is my job description. As simple as that. Now what do you think? This time Hiranyakashipu, he laughed? He went mad? He went mad, what is this? And he went mad and he was not angry on Prahlāda. He was angry on the teachers. You rascals, I am paying you salary and you are teaching various different things about my enemy, Vishnu. Because Prahlāda very specifically mentioned Vishnu Smaranam. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. So you can add Vishnu with every word, every anga of bhakti here. Yes. So Smaranam Vishnu, Kirtan Vishnu, etc., etc. With everything you can add. And that was the meaning also. Yes. And here Hiranyakashipu is saying that you useless fellows, you people are teaching him Vishnu Bhakti. You're supposed to teach my Bhakti to him. He's supposed to do my Shravanam, my Kirtanam, my Smaranam. And these Brahmanas who were there, they said, we have not taught him anything. All this contamination we have not given him. This is how asuras feel, bhakti to be contamination. They'll ask, Anap Shanap, kahan se seekh kya hai? One of the devotee was telling me, he was chanting and he was doing other things. He just made sure that he'll not disturb his parents, so he didn't tell the parents about chanting and other things. Yes. But one day, his parents saw him chanting. So his father asked, "What is this nonsense? Where did you learn all these things from?" I don't know what he answered at that time. He managed it somehow. Yes. But somehow when in the Kali Yuga, the demonic mentality is there in people around. They're not able to understand how bhakti is topmost. Yes. And how bhakti is important. Whatever activities we're doing in our life, along with that, bhakti is very, very important. But somehow many people are not able to understand this fact. And sometimes people define their own bhakti. Bhakti means this, bhakti means that. No, bhakti means Shravanam Kirtanam. This is what we're supposed to do. So at that time, when Hiranyakashipu asked the teacher said, "We have not taught him. He has got natural bhakti." When Narada Muni is speaking about Prahlāda, so he says, "Yasya naisargiki rati." Okay, you can imagine spiritual master speaking about disciple. And the spiritual master is so proud about the disciple. He is saying, "My disciple, Prahlāda. Yasya naisargiki rati." He's got natural bhakti towards Krishna. Natural bhakti. And that was a fact. Yasya naisargiki rati. Because that natural attraction for Krishna was gifted to Prahlāda by spiritual master. Then Hiranyakashipu, he didn't pay attention to all that Yasya naisargiki rati and all that. Whatever the teacher said. He directly asked Prahlāda, "Prahlāda, where did you get all these things from?" Now the question is more specific. Where did you get Where did you get all these things from? So that time, Prahlāda, he answered something in a very nice way in 3 shlokas. He looked at his father and he said, "Matirna Krishne parato swatova mito vipadyeta graha vratana adanta gobhir vishatam tamishram punha punascharvita charvadana." He's saying that, I'll tell you the essence of this. People like you, oh my dear father, who are completely into materialism, chewing the chewed, doing the same sense gratification what people in the past have done. They have not got anything from that sense gratification. And you're chewing the same to derive some sense gratification. For people like you, even if I speak, or even if some other people speak, you will never understand anything about Krishna. Matirna Krishna. Not possible. Never ever you can understand about Krishna. So this was the first thing that he said. Well, where did you get it from? Even if I tell you, my dear father, you will not understand. What's the point of telling? But still, let me tell you something. Nate vidu swartha gatim hi Vishnu durashaya he bhairartamanina andhayatangder upaniyamanas tepisha tantra urudam nibaddha. So he started saying, Nate vidu swartha gatim hi Vishnu. People like you will never understand the goal of life is actually Vishnu. You'll never understand. Why you'll never understand? Because you are belonging to that category called blind people who are following other blind people. There's no question of you understanding what's the ultimate goal of life. But still, if you want to know that how I got it, because there Parikshit Maharaj asked Shukadeva Goswami, how Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj got such a position. He had a desire. What was the desire? Even I would like to do some service like that. Even I want to attain a position like that. So here Prahlada Maharaj's point is that if you want to know how I got this with a mood that even you want it, then I'll tell you the secret. And you know what's the secret? Then he says, Naisha, okay, you all can repeat this shloka, very nice. Naisha matistavadurukkramangrim. Okay, we'll divide the shloka into 2. One line into 2. Naisha matistavad urukkramangrim sparshatyanartha apagamo yadartha mahiyasam pad rajobhishekam nishkinchananam navrinitayava. He's saying, Naisha matistavad urukkramangrim sparshadanartha pagamo yadartha. He is saying that, my dear father, you also have some hopes of getting rid of all the contamination that you have in your heart. इसको कहते हैं preaching. Question क्या पूछा था? Where did you get it from? He would have simply told, from my spiritual master, Srila Narada Dev. He's not saying that. He's thinking, maybe Hiranyakashipu is asking because even he wants to attain the same position what I have attained. So if you really want to get rid of your contamination, my dear father, what you should do? You should take shelter of a pure devotee of the Lord. You should take bath in the dust of the pure devotee of the Lord. Then you will also attain the same state what I have attained. See, such a wonderful thing. The seed that was sown by Narada Muni in the heart of Prahlāda. Prahlada Maharaj is very grateful for that. Because without some superiors teaching us how to practice devotional service, we can never practice devotional service. Not possible. Yes. And especially those devotees whom we hear in our life, whom we meet, we take guidance from. If they are elevated, if they have some treasure of Krishna consciousness, just by hearing them, serving them, we get the treasure of Krishna consciousness. Whatever they might have, whatever level of treasure they might have. And here, Prahlada Maharaj is remembering this very important point, that I was not qualified at all. I was not qualified at all. Same was the mood of Narada Muni. He had this mood that I was not qualified. I received it from the Bhakti Vedantas who came. And here, same is the mood of Prahlada Maharaj. And Prahlada Maharaj is saying, I was not qualified. What was my qualification? I am actually Asura. I have actually taken birth in Asura family. Therefore, I am an Asura. And how can a demon like me get this natural attraction? Not possible. My dear father, I have not got it by myself. This teacher is saying by myself. No. I've got it because I had taken shelter of a great personality. And by his dust of the lotus feet, in which I have bathed myself, I've attained this state. But Prahlada Maharaj never met Narada Muni actually. He was in the womb. So when did Prahlad get an opportunity to take the dust and then put it all over his body? Yes, think about it. Hearing. But he's speaking about dust. He's speaking about taking bath in the dust of the lotus feet of pure devotee. And here, one thing that we need to understand is that he's talking about following the instruction. Yes. It's not just taking the dust and putting all over the body. And you're saying, कुछ हुआ ही नहीं? लगता है कि प्रभु जी में power नहीं है. It does not have power. See, one important thing to note is, yes, that is obviously you take and then you apply on the head, whatever. That is one point. But the other very important thing is accepting the instruction of the superiors and following that. That's what Prahlada Maharaj is speaking about. Because he accepted the instructions of Narada Muni, a great Mahā-bhāgavatas, and he became a Mahā-bhāgavatas. And to what extent he became Mahā-bhāgavatas? Because when Hiranyakashipu heard all this, do you think he'll leave him? Hiranyakashipu, who did Abhishek of Prahlāda with his own tears, was now in a position, was so angry. He took Prahlāda and he just threw him down on the floor. And he ordered, kill him. And when all the people around, that is all the soldiers, when they tried killing Prahlāda in various ways, what was Prahlada Maharaj's situation? When he was thrown from the cliff of the mountain, or thrown in the ocean, or in the fire, or wherever he was thrown, Prahlada Maharaj was so steady in his devotional service. So steady. He was not agitated. Just let's put ourselves in a position, a dangerous situation, and just think about it. Yes. And we get so agitated in dangerous situations. Forget about dangerous situations. Small things, a small situation that comes in our life, we get disturbed. So when we are getting disturbed and Prahlāda is not getting disturbed, we should understand that there is something that Prahlāda received which we have not received. Prahlāda received mercy of Narada Muni. How powerful that seed of bhakti is which Narada Muni has sown in the heart of Prahlāda. Just think about it. How powerful. So powerful that in such a dangerous situation, it's a question of life and Prahlāda is not affected at all. One thing that Prahlāda did was he received the instructions from Narada Muni and he applied it in his life. This is the missing point in our life. Very unfortunate. We cannot dare to say that I have not received mercy. No, we cannot dare to say this. If you're sitting in the association of devotees like this, on the auspicious day of Narasimha Chaturdashi, and hearing about Narasimha Dev, we cannot dare to say I have not received mercy of my superiors, my spiritual master, the Parampara. No. You know why? Because only by their mercy, we are able to sit like this and hear Krishna Katha from Bhagavatam. The only difference between Prahlāda and us is, he implemented the instructions that he received from Narada, and we are not implementing the instructions received from our superiors. As simple as that. If we just follow as it is, as told by the Bhakti Vedanta who entered our life, that is A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Yes. If we just follow his instructions, we'll also attain the same state what Prahlāda has attained. Yes. Very, very important. Very, very important. And this quality of having complete faith that Krishna will protect me in every situation is again a gift. Again a gift, which is received, from a person who has it. And this gift was given by Narada Muni to Prahlāda. Because Narada Muni, he was having that fearlessness. And he was able to gift that to Prahlāda. In this way, Prahlāda, he went through so much of tortures. But still Prahlāda was peacefully chanting the holy names of the Lord. I always tell this to devotees, that if you want to test your advancement in bhakti, just try to have this one litmus test in your life, that when you are disturbed due to some situation, are you able to chant your rounds attentively or no? Just think about this one point, and we'll understand our level of advancement. Many devotees will tell, "Oh, you are so advanced, you have short time, you have made so much of advancement, this and that." Simple test is, when you're put in a dangerous situation, you're disturbed, and you're supposed to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, are you able to focus or no? I think with that, doodh ka doodh, pani ka pani. Yes. We'll be easily able to make out what level of bhakti are we doing. Now, Hiranyakashipu was very fearful. Prahlāda is not fearful, but Hiranyakashipu has become very fearful. He is looking at small child like, my God, he's so fearless. Hiranyakashipu is thinking how fearless he is. I try to torture him in various ways and there is no question of fear. And he's not getting killed. Hiranyakashipu's thought process was, now when he becomes elderly adult, he will kill me. And thinking about that, he became disturbed. And Chanda and Amarka, they looked at the face of Hiranyakashipu, they understood, iski to hawa nikal gayi hai. You can imagine it was a situation like that. And Chanda and Amarka told Hiranyakashipu, don't worry. Arey to bachcha hai, it's okay. There's no problem. We'll take him and again train him in the demonic principles of life. And we'll make him master in that, don't worry. And anyways, our father Shukracharya is not here. Once he comes back, I think this boy will be okay. Our father is a great demon. He'll be able to convert him nicely. So they took him. Teachers did a very, very wrong thing, taking him back to school. They should have removed him from school. But now what happened is Prahlāda went to school, and during the break time, he started preaching to all the students. He started speaking about Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. Now all the students were very inquisitive. Hey, bhai, tune kahan se sikha ye sab? And Prahlāda is saying, I learned from my guru. No, but your guru and our guru are the same. Chanda and Amarka. And Prahlāda said, no, there's a difference. Your guru, the Chanda and Amarka, but my guru. See, since all the kids, they were innocent. And very inquisitively, with innocence, they were asking this question. So Prahlāda, for the first time, he told from his own mouth, my guru is Narada Muni. He told to all the students there. And then he was asked, but we never saw anyone coming here. There's such a tight security around. Yes. We didn't saw anyone coming here. Then Narada Muni said, long time back, when my father went for tapasya, at that time Indra captured my mother. At that time Narada Muni came, and then Narada Muni spoke Krishna. That's how I got all the information. That's how I got the transcendental knowledge. And the boys might have asked, can you tell us more? What did you learn? And at that time, Prahlada Maharaj, he gave an elaborate class on Krishna consciousness. And I don't think multiple classes were needed from Prahlada Maharaj. Few classes looks like, and all the kids became devotees. There was one person who was chanting Hare Krishna. Now looks like they made a japa circle and they sat and they're chanting Hare Krishna. Yes. And when their teachers came, Shanda and Amarka, and they saw this, they went bewildered. Hiranyakashipu is torturing us now, saying, you thought, now all their parents will come to us. What will happen now? They immediately went and complained. This was the third time they took Prahlāda to Hiranyakashipu. They said, your boy is spoiling other boys also. I would request all of you, become spoiled completely and spoil others. When I had got admission in BITS Pilani, it was Goa campus. So I was getting ready, I was packing my bags and other things. And my relatives were telling my mother that he's going to Goa. You tell him that he's not supposed to do this and that and whatever. No alcohol, cigarettes and drugs and this and that. My mother was very confident. My mother told my relatives, he's spoiled. And I have full confidence he'll spoil others also. She was very confident the other day when she was speaking like this. Obviously, she didn't say spoiled, she said some other words, but it meant the same. Yes. And actually, it's very important. If we really see, before we die, we should do some service to this world and leave. We at least help few people to become Krishna conscious. Connect few people at least to Krishna. People have forgotten Krishna. It's our job to connect. Yes. And here, Prahlada Maharaj did that job. Can you imagine? The asuras, the demons, the boys, they had no chance of associating with pure devotees. But they had Prahlada amongst them. And Prahlada Maharaj blessed them with the transcendental knowledge. And so wonderful that all of them, they became devotees. Hiranyakashipu got to know this. Now Hiranyakashipu was really angry and he went on he took the charge of Prahlāda now personally. He said, useless fellow, where are you learning all these things from? Where is your God? Where is that Vishnu? He's coward. He's running. He has ran away. I'm not able to find him. In fact, Hiranyakashipu at one point, in the initial time, when he got benedictions from Brahma, he went around capturing various different places. So at that time, he went to find Vishnu also, and he couldn't find Vishnu. So at that time, he says that it looks like Vishnu is dead. Vishnu is dead. So this was his conclusion. He's asking, where is Vishnu? Where is Vishnu? And at that time, as all of us know, Hiranyakashipu was asking, Vishnu is here, Vishnu is there. And Prahlada Maharaj, Prahlada Maharaj is not an ordinary person. He is Mahā-bhāgavatas, blessed by another Mahā-bhāgavatas, Nārada. He said, Vishnu is everywhere. This is the vision of a pure devotee. Sthavara jangama dekhe na dekhe tara murti, sarvatra hoy nija ishta deva spurti. Wherever they see, they don't see some moving elements or non-moving elements. They see their Ishtadev everywhere. They're able to perceive Krishna everywhere. Here Hiranyakashipu is asking, where is your Lord? Where is your Lord? And Prahlada Maharaj is saying, where he is not. This is the vision of two personalities, Mahā-bhāgavat and Mahā-asur. This is the vision of two personalities. And then Hiranyakashipu specifically asked, is he there in this pillar? And Narada Muni said, he is everywhere. And that was the time when Hiranyakashipu, he hit the pillar hard, and from there huge roaring sounds came. Hiranyakashipu was fearful. It's described people around, they fell unconscious. There were miscarriages, looks like, for various pregnant ladies. Roaring sound was so huge. There was huge effulgence that came out of that pillar first with the roaring sound. And then Hiranyakashipu got the first darshan of Narasimha Bhagwan ki. You have to just be in touch with the pure devotee. You will get darshan of the Lord. Tell me, what was the qualification of Hiranyakashipu? Only one qualification. He was the father of Prahlāda. And he got darshan. I don't know if Prahlāda got first darshan, but Hiranyakashipu surely got the darshan. He got darshan of Narasimha. And Narasimha killed Hiranyakashipu. And he was roaring and roaring and roaring. And it is described, all the devatas came, they offered prayers. No one was able to pacify Hiranyakashipu. There were dead bodies lying in the entire place. The Narasimha, sorry. Narasimha was sitting on the throne of Hiranyakashipu, was roaring and roaring and roaring. All devatas were offering prayers, and none of them were able to pacify Narasimha. And at that time, Brahma, he told Prahlad, for you Lord has appeared, you go. 5-year-old boy, 5-year-old boy. Yes. And the most fearful person in the entire group of devatas was Brahma. Because he was the one who was culprit. He had given benedictions to Hiranyakashipu. He said, you go, you go, you go. There's one beautiful picture, beautiful BBT painting. So Narasimha is sitting on the top, on the throne, and devatas are in one corner. And they are telling Prahlad, you go. And Prahlad started walking. Now it is described that there are dead bodies around and there is a ferocious person sitting there. See, the Narasimha, the Ugra form of Narasimha, we cannot imagine also how Ugra that is, how ferocious that is. Lakshmi Devi was also fearful. Obviously here we have Lakshmi Narasimha, and Lakshmi Devi is very peacefully sitting because Narasimha is peaceful. But that form was huge. It is described that the tongue of Narasimha was like a huge sword just going around like this, looks like. And the hair coming from his entire body, the face especially, the mane, that was flowing in different directions. His eyes were red. And to add to the glory of the Lord, when Lord killed Hiranyakashipu, normally when Lord descends, all the devatas come with garlands and they offer garlands, flowers are showered and all that. But this time they were known to offer garland. Lord Narasimha removed the intestines of Hiranyakashipu and he put it around as a garland. Now you imagine the entire scene, how beautiful the scene is. Person is already looking very ferocious, very, very horrifying. And in that you have intestine ka garland and blood stains around. But Prahlad was not fearful. Prahlad was walking towards the Lord without any fear. And there at that point, a very beautiful shloka comes. How come Prahlad was walking towards the Lord without any fear? Please repeat. Ugropi anugra evayam swabhaktanam rikeshari keshariva swapotanam anyesham ugra vikramaha. Ugra api anugra. Lord is ferocious, but he is not ferocious. And very beautifully it is described. For whom he is not ferocious? Swabhaktana. He is not ferocious. And just to give a comparison, it is said, very beautiful. Keshari. Keshari means a lioness. Female lion. So female lion. Anyway, the lion comes in front of you, I'm sure you'll not check the gender. Is he male or female? As soon as the lion comes, will just run away from that place. So what does that mean? A lion is very ferocious, very fearful in general for everyone. But for one's own offsprings, for one's own cubs, is the lion fearful? And the answer is no. And therefore here it is said, how is it that Prahlad was so fearless going towards Narasimha? And the answer is, he was seeing his father sitting there, his mother sitting there. He just went, Papa! At a long time, I'm seeing you. Now he just ran towards Narasimha, and it is described. He touched the feet of Narasimha, and Narasimha was all pacified. What these devatas couldn't do, by offering wonderful prayers, Prahlad could do that, just by touching the feet of the Lord. And Lord was very, very pleased with Prahlad. He took Prahlad on his lap. And in another place I heard, see, Lord has a face of lion. So if lion has to show affection to its own offsprings, what the lion will do? Licking. And you can imagine Narasimha licking someone. Narasimha blessed Prahlada Maharaj. And that time, Prahlada Maharaj started offering prayers. See, you're sitting on the lap of Lord. And you're offering prayers. You can imagine the position of Prahlad. Yes. And at that time, Prahlada Maharaj, he says something very wonderful. I thought I'll just end with this shloka. He says, please repeat. Tasmadamustanubhritam. Okay, it's a long shloka. I'm just cutting it to two. I don't know how to chant this. Aham Ashishognaha Ayuhu Shriyam Vibhavam Aindriyam Avichiran. Oh, sorry. Okay. Aindriyam Avirinchayat. If any Sanskrit scholar, if he watches this class, he'll commit suicide looking at my recitation. I'm dividing a long line into two with a wrong meter. Nechami te vilulitan Uru vikramena kalatmano panaya Mam nija bhritya parshvam. The shloka is like this. Okay, I'll chant the entire shloka for my satisfaction. Tasmadamustanubhritam aham ashishogna ayushriyam vibhavam aindriyam avirinchayat nechami te vilulitan uruvikramena kalatmanopanaya mam nijabhritya parshvam. Here Prahlāda is saying that I've got all this. Before the shloka also, Prahlāda acknowledges one very important thing. My father, he had all the opulence. He had all the opulence. But what's the point? He is killed and everything is gone. What's the point? And therefore, he is saying that I have got complete experience now. He has not experienced, but looking at his father, he's saying, I've got complete experience of what? Worldly opulence. And the mystic power, longevity, material pleasures enjoyed by all living entities. From Brahma to ant. I've seen all this now. My father was the epitome of all this. I've seen that already. But the powerful time destroys everything. And isn't that a fact? Doesn't matter what you are in this world, you'll be destroyed. Doesn't matter. Yes. And then he says, therefore, because of my experience, I do not wish to possess them. Because the Lord had asked him a question that, please ask me something. And he's saying, I don't want any of it. I don't want any material opulence. But he says a very important thing, which is very much in our context of the Mahā-bhāgavatas discussion. He said, my dear Lord, I request you to place me in touch with your pure devotee and let me serve him as a sincere servant. Oh Lord, please keep me at the lotus feet of Narada Muni. Let me continue serving my spiritual master, a pure devotee. This is the desire, which Prahlada Maharaj is telling to the Lord. If at all you want to give me something, allow me, to serve the pure devotee. See, he's sitting on the lap of Narasimha Dev. How is that he's asking that I want to associate with your devotees? और हमारा ऐसा अगर कुछ अपॉर्चुनिटी आता है, then we'll say, हरि बोल, Hare Krishna. I won't associate with you anymore. Somehow I was tolerating. I was waiting for this day. Chutkara mil gaya. Yes. But look at Prahlada Maharaj is saying that, oh Lord, if at all you want to give me something, please place me in the association of your pure devotees and let me serve them as a menial servant. You know why? Because you can relish Krishna consciousness more and you can do better service in the association of pure devotees because they have that intense bhakti in their heart. And just by being in their association, we'll also imbibe that mood and we'll also be able to serve better. Or it's very, very difficult, no? We might stay with the Lord, but then how will we serve? How will we understand how to serve the Lord better? When we are there under those great devotees who know how to serve the Lord better. If Bhagavatam was not there, I don't know how we would have understood all these intricate points about devotional service. The only thing that I would like to say is, Bhakti Vedantas had the seed of pure devotion. They planted it in the heart of Narada. Narada received it, and then he planted it in the heart of Prahlāda. And it's very important to note that what we have, only that we can give. Narada had pure devotional service, that mood, that love for Krishna. He gave it to Prahlāda. Now, when we are speaking to people, we can give only what we have. And what we have? What do we have? Love for Krishna? Huh? Love for Krishna? भर भर के अनर्थ है ना हमारे पास तो. Yes, we can go and distribute to everyone. That person might be moving towards liberation, and by our touch, he goes towards hell. Therefore, it's very important that all of us, as devotees, we have to advance in bhakti. This desire should be there in the heart. I have to do some service before I leave this world. And that service is giving the treasure of Krishna consciousness to others, provided you have it. Yes. So we need to cultivate, with time, pure devotional mood. And by serving pure devotees, surely we can receive that mood. This is the first thing. And always, we should hanker, to follow the instructions given, by the pure devotees, like Srila Prabhupada. In fact, all of us, we should live our life to execute the instructions given by Srila Prabhupada. He's such a great personality. Narada Muni got some Bhakti Vedantas. And by Lord's mercy, we also have got a Bhakti Vedanta. A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. And his instructions have to be taken as life and soul. Very, very important. And each one of us should have one strong aspiration in the heart when we hear about these great Mahā-bhāgavatas, that even I want to become a pure devotee of the Lord. Why I want to become a pure devotee of the Lord? Because I'll be able to serve the Lord better and spread Krishna consciousness better in this entire world. Yes. That is our desire. And that should be our desire, to become the pure devotee of the Lord. So remember, what we have, we can give that. And pure devotees have it, and they can give it to us. And we also should aspire to become a pure devotee. So in this way, we see the divine connection of two great Mahā-bhāgavatas, Srila Narada Dev and Prahlada Maharaj, in this very wonderful pastime of Narasimha Dev's appearance. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Narasimha Dev Bhagwan ki, Srila Narada Muni ki, Prahlada Maharaj ki, Jai Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki, Jai.